good afternoon, everyone, or good. Well, it's still good afternoon in America as well. 12.
Barely.
Yeah, literally lunchtime, but good lunchtime, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. First of all, before we go into anything, I want to just say ODYS I've been with them a year now, and they're giving a special deal away. 10% for the rest of this week off of any domain in the marketplace. But if you buy a domain name this week, you'll also get a free 30-minute consultancy call with me where I can talk you through things you can do with the domain name or whatever you want to do in that 30 minutes.
Dude, I think I might do that just so you have to hop on a call with me for 30 minutes.
No.
I'm seriously, I saw that come out. Yeah. No, you're contractually obligated to hop on a 30-minute call with me. So
not book all fucking week, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is there. But we do have Fred Hutterson, Ryan Darani, who claims he's the best looking SEO.
No, he didn't say it was him. It's me. So
That's
he's
exactly
like the
right.
best looking SEOs in the
I
house.
remember
And
when Ryan was posting all of that all over the press release sites and shit about you, bro.
About me?
Yeah, how good you are, how good looking.
Thanks, baby.
Theo is here, Liam Quirk is here. But while people are coming in, guys, put your questions in the chat. I'm just going to ask a few questions about NFG, if I'm allowed. Did anyone
It's horrible. Everyone hated it.
Did Brad get his ass beaten?
No, he never does. But no one stepped up except for Mario, and he would kick my ass. So. We did have one member show up,
Poppy,
and he got in at like 7 a.m. in the morning, and he had a black eye. I'm like, dude, what happened to your fucking eye? He's like, I had a crazy night. And then and then he tells me this whole story, which I can't repeat. And then I'm like, okay, but what happened to your eye? He's like, I have no idea.
Dude, that was freaking hilarious, bro. Ryan, like Dirty Juice, usually does that, and
he's good to have around.
Paul, for some reason, was able to pick up the college girls all weekend long, and Dirty was able to find Paul and was very upset with himself when he woke up with a black eye and couldn't explain where he got it. I think he was pumping the bump, but then he got hit in the face while he was dancing. So I'm on my way down to Greensboro, and I go up and I go, hey, I need to upgrade to first class or whatever, and then I message this, and someone's like the whole time saying like I can see Mike, he's right there, blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, this is bullshit. No one's here. And then I'm like, go back to where I am, and like I'm like looking around, and I see my messages. I goes, dude, I'm the only black fucking dude in this fucking airport. And I turn around, and there's this big ass black dude standing behind me that I didn't notice when I walked up.
Poppy D.
Poppy D was there, bro.
Yeah, big Poppy.
It was funny, man. It was a good week. It was
and then Poppy decides to lose his fucking passport. So, are you still in the States, Poppy, or did you get home? They
Is that
smuggled
Elton
you
John
across
right
the border.
there? No, he made it home, dude.
Oh, good. He's like, I might have to stay in this shithole till
come to
Thursday.
NFG and never make it back to your country.
Mm-hmm. They don't want you after you've been with us.
So who was the most fucked up on booze at NFG?
Well, that's always going to be Dirty. That's a
yeah, I would say that's a yeah. It would be Dirty.
In your opinion, who dropped the best presentation or the most bombs?
It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for hacky,
I'm going to say Chris, dude.
Yeah, I would say Chris.
Christy.
Kyle's presentation was really solid. It's kind of a back to the basics. Of course, Leo, he's really solid. Ted is next level. It was a good event.
No, actually, people went home, and there's some people that are in top 5 CPC. We're talking about like seriously top 5, and they went home and implemented changes, and they moved their shit up to number 1, dude. Like within 24 hours, dude. It was everyone did a really good job. It followed a process basically that everyone is missing right now, and that's why. Like I got messages again this morning. I'm still seeing the same issues come over from everybody, and you can see that traffic. Everyone's doing the wrong thing since 2019, and when you start doing the right process, I do need internet, bro. I do. And I don't even know who I'm fucking talking to. I don't know who owns the goddamn event. So I'm just talking to this random ass logo all the time when he comes.
It's a monkey.
That's Paul?
Yeah.
Never heard of
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Really?
By the way, just while we're on that, guys, seounderground.co.uk is on next week. There's still tickets available, so make sure you do check it out. SEO Underground.
Anyone stepping up to kick your ass at that one, or you got the UK on lock?
Nah.
No takers.
Nah. Not that type of event. We run more professional events here in the UK.
Wouldn't know what that's like.
Nah, I would like to do something like that in the future, but I'll definitely be coming over to the next NFG to beat your ass, even if I'm not talking.
There doesn't need to be an event.
Yeah, I'll just come over there and kick your ass.
Yeah. As soon as Sleepy Joe lets you in, come on over.
November, I believe. But we've got a first question from Theo. Should be a fairly straightforward answer. Is there
actually, what's funny is we just finished, that stuff we've all been doing and shit. We just finished a utility that is going out, looking at the competitor's link profile and actually gathering all the info and giving you a direct line in to get the exact links that the competitor has, man. We've been fucking smashing it that way in casino for a long time. And there is stuff out there that can do it. And I don't know if there's anything that's being sold in the public, but there might be something here very shortly.
Very shortly, Theo, I will keep you posted. So yeah, there is going to be a tool coming out. I don't know of anything else that's out there publicly, personally, that I know of that's going to do it. So
it's actually really nice, man. Like it's a great way to start a campaign. Like, and speaking of Otis, especially with something like that, like so Rob Beal did a post on or a post. I said a post. His presentation was on the various databases and graphs that Google keeps and how those layer to make like the filters for the algorithms to rank in various markets. And we analyzed the domain that we had picked up for the event from Otis, and we kind of seasoned that, let it rank ahead, like without doing any optimization.
Yeah, get it indexed. Yeah.
And that profile, it's sick because you can see when you take a look at what what a real website looks like when you actually do real marketing, when you build links properly, when you do proper digital PR or whatever the fuck they call it, and you have a brand and you actually market a website like you're marketing a real business rather than just doing spam. You get a certain web graph that you can visualize. You see what a website should look like and all the connection and edges that should be pointing to it. And when you look at a domain that you pick up from Otis, you actually are buying that profile. You're buying that web graph, you're buying that link graph, and you can see it, and you can see the patterns, and you can see the groupings and the edges. They look exactly like they should. And the one that we were looking at, there's industry events in crypto, and that's where we're doing the marketing here. And I do want to get to what Ryan's saying. And when you look at that, and when you take a look at that web graph, and you look at all of the, if you're looking at the Reddit domain list, you're looking at, various, tech industry standards. When you look at this in this crypto site, you actually see the seed sites in the graph. You see everything in the graph that should be there, all the social property, all the PR that's there. It's there when you purchase it. And I think they're undervaluing when they value, they sell it and they give you a value, right? They give you that value of, okay, this profile is worth this. They're looking at it from a very solid SEO angle, but I think it's actually a profile, at least in this case, it's worth much more than what they had said it was. So I think that the value that is there is even greater than what they're showing you when you pull it up. And you definitely, like Ryan was saying, I love Majestic's link graph tool, and that link graph is definitely one of the parts of the web graph that you are going to want to look at. And I absolutely believe that link research tools in Majestic are above Ahrefs and Moz DA, all those things with the fake scores.
Especially now.
Dude, I mean, it's I keep telling people, Mike, on Otis Fire, is that a domain you bought from them or what? CBD Cakes?
Nah, CBD Cakes has seen this on Otis, and he keeps tweeting me, and he keeps saying like, Craig's going to buy me this domain name.
I'm going to go buy the shit now, dude. I haven't been looking in that market, dude, and I need that. I need actually that shit. So
I said to Alex about it.
We should both buy one and both get a call with Craig. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's buy it. Let's go buy Ganja News, and then we'll buy. There's one in there for rehab, that I want to grab too. I think they have it listed at $23K or something like that right now for purchase. But it's a solid ass domain. But yeah, no, there's a lot of. Does
Otis restore them for you, or will they just throw up new content?
Oh no, so the restoration is not done, but the content that goes up will pull ranking, the silo structure.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but it would be even better if they had that service.
Well, that's not I mean,
I know it's not difficult, but it's still another step. I mean,
and I didn't do it before the event. It's time for me to restore that domain, the crypto domain, because it's time to actually push that domain because the event's over. So the restoration, and that's one thing we talked about there, is like people, if you're pulling those domains and you need to restore them, I would recommend doing so and not like rewriting everything that was already previously there, because you will get yourself into problems down the line with updating and different things and you'll start to lose traffic eventually.
Well, the biggest issue is when people switch niches. They buy one
issue, absolutely.
CBD and they try and throw something completely different on it, and
the issue is the scoring and how they understand it, how they filtered the site, and how they've scored the site. If you force them to rescore and you try to force new understanding too early, you will get into trouble with your expireds and your other domains, your options and shit like that. It just happens every time. It's pretty obvious when people do it. You can see it. Back to what Ryan said about Majestic. Majestic is that the link graph visualization is definitely part of it. There's a consumption graph. There's a lot of different shit that they're looking at, and that is one of them. Yes, and I do think that their visualization is solid, and it's very easy to footprint out what people are doing and replicate or find their hidden shit, utilizing that with some other scrapers and shit. It definitely works. Good fucking service.
Liam Quirk's got a little question there. What I would say to you, Liam, on this, first off, this is just my own personal opinion. I treat every website as a money website. Now, in terms of using AI, I am very skeptical of using it because I think longer term that will come back to haunt you. Just solely AI content, I think, will come back to haunt you. Can Google detect that? Of course they can. So I would try and get everything done properly, pay writers, and treat every website as a money website. But guys, do you see it any differently? Would you use AI content on something in the short term, or do you always think about just trying to future-proof every website you've got, rather than 2 years down the time if you get slammed for AI content? Surely that's a pain in the ass.
It depends on the site.
Brad.
I was just going to say it depends on the site and where they are in the network. If it's just simply a network site that I'm treating as a money site, then I don't mind using whatever content I can get up and get indexed and get ranked. Otherwise, for the main sites, of course, we're going to use solid content that's hopefully going to convert better.
I think the big point, like what you said, dude, is if someone uses AI content and throws it up and doesn't go back for 2 years, they're going to be in trouble, dude. There's no question. Like,
and that'll happen with just regular content.
It's not going to take 2 years for them to lose traffic at all. It's going to be much faster. Like all the content velocity is a thing. Updating sites to be fresh is a thing. But the reasons people are doing it and what they understand about it, they're all fucked off on. And they think that they can just rank in places by just throwing up content and never coming back to it. And it just doesn't work that way, no matter what anyone says, no matter how they understand it. You throw up content that is generated and you don't go back, eventually you lose traffic, or you fall victim to an update and lose traffic that way. It just shit is not.
I just wish my content were as fresh as Mike. to be
My
honest.
content is super fresh.
Dope boy fresh.
In a network, you definitely want to be going in and at least updating 10% of that network every freaking month. Like, you need to be growing it. You need to be linking it. It needs to be growth. And that's why we say treat it like a money site. Treat your network like it's all money sites. If you throw it up and you don't do shit, you're in trouble.
Well, the key to a money site isn't making you money. So if it has the potential to make you money, then treat it like a money site. If it doesn't have the potential to make you money, then get rid of it.
Get it out of there. It has to be done that way.
I've got another question. Michael is saying not a single mention of the Taiwanese phone farms at the event. So what fucking phone farms were you talking about? Someone got some random like Icelandic phone farm? Like,
no, Vietnamese is working right now.
Vietnamese? Come on, man.
Yeah. And cave phone farms as well. If you're in the States, you can get those.
I'm just curious if you were trying to throw me and everyone else here that wasn't at the event down the line of fucking trying the Taiwanese shit, and you will be all using some fucking Egyptian one or some shit.
Yeah, hieroglyphic phone farms. Yeah, that's what I use.
Because I've tried
to use dial-up
ones. Yeah, because Google can't understand the hieroglyphics.
Yeah,
properly.
It's just a picture.
Yeah, if you throw it, make sure you email in hieroglyphics too about your networks, or else they'll get you.
Yeah.
Jordan Pierce is saying, why does Mike look as if he's in the bathroom sitting in the toilet?
Because I am.
Because he is, yeah, exactly. He's got a bucket. It's not technically a bathroom, but there's no bath. Just a dirty bucket.
Fucking hilarious.
He's making link juice right now.
Oh, CBD got a fucking yes, bro. We used to do this with RSS, and it was like called at one point like black hole RSS, which was like creating content that you knew spammers liked, so that they would take your feed and publish it for you. If you are having your tags and your content copied and your tags pulled in, start inserting your links and watching the links grow, and then just kind of craft what you want to do with those links, you absolutely can exploit it. And that's one of the things I love about what people are doing right now, because you can use Ryan keeps distracting the shit out of me today, dude. Oh, dude. Yeah, wingdings, exactly, dude. I know Ryan's picture. I don't even know who Ryan is, but I know him from somewhere. I just watched you guys run around holding fucking hands all over fucking wherever the fuck place you were.
He looks like the UK version of Dirty Juice, to be honest.
Yeah, he does. He's definitely Dirty Juice.
Yeah, Ryan doesn't drink that much or anything like that. He's actually a relatively quiet fella, man.
But it doesn't matter. You can be Dirty Juice in spirit.
Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to be.
Michael Likens has a Dirty Juice tattoo on his arm too. Dirty Juice Senior's on his arm.
He's got a bunch of tattoos, doesn't he?
But seriously, like this guy, yeah, his arm has a Dirty Juice on it. What the fuck? Yeah, the AI thing. If it's copying your content and you're leaving tags in, insert links, dude. For sure.
Yeah. For sure. Or add Holly special JavaScript. Or should I just not say anything about that?
And if it's a concern about quality, I honestly wouldn't care too much, as long as it's not going too crazy and too large. If it's if it's going to be a situation where you're getting the same piece and it's relatively the same article over and over again, then you want to watch it, because getting the same article pushed out, like with the same topic to the same URL hundreds of times, will cause issues, and it can cause ranking drop. So just don't do that. But if you can get it into different topics, and you can get it in, or different intents, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and you can get it in there, then get it in there and insert the links.
Always.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, good advice. I had nothing else to add.
If you can do it with RSS as well, especially if people are taking full feed.
Russell mentioned that a long time ago. I remember. Did he get that from you, Mike, or he come up with that on his own?
I have no idea. He might have. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. He mentioned it at an event. Dude.
Yeah.
Before I knew them, for sure.
Fucking monsters. But guys, do keep your questions coming so that Mike doesn't have to keep showing those weird little what is that?
Bro. Fly.
Fucking fly.
This is Brad, dude.
Yeah, it looks just like me.
Yeah, after I finish with you in the ring, fucking head
Yeah,
right
dude.
shoulders. Tickets.
There you go.
It's people don't realize that. Like people always like even Ryan Darani. I was telling him to come to SU Underground next week. It's like I don't know. You know, I've seen some of these speakers speak before and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, it's not about the speakers, just the people that are going to be there and stuff like that. And we've got a cool bunch of guys coming next week as well. So it's always about that, man, for me. Like the speaking is a very, very like speaking at an event or even listening to other speakers is always secondary for me. Just grabbing a hold of people and having a chat over a beer and extract as much as you can.
Dude, we set up a client call that is going to net us high 5 figures a month going from this. So the networking was worth it for me for sure.
Yeah, definitely. People always just see the money. Oh, fucking too dear, too this, too that. But you're getting access to a lot more than just the talks. So, but live IRL fan, we still don't know who you are. But was there any talk of YouTube at the event?
I still don't have a message, dude.
I didn't see him, so we didn't talk about YouTube. Actually, Chris did talk about YouTube and brand association and just like shoving that down people's throat to get yourself associated with certain keywords. But he wasn't using it to rank YouTube videos. He was just using YouTube as a tactic to push other stuff. So
the next question is, that was actually a solid piece. The thing is everything we talked about directly can be impacted and used on YouTube, just translated from a website to.
From Leo stuff beyond, you know, even integrating Rob's stuff, Clint stuff, everything. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Buy a ticket to watch it when it re-airs.
It was hilarious when Chris Palmer was done. He looks over at us. He's like, before he stepped off stage or anything, he's like, "Did I do good?" "Yeah, Chris, you did good." He's like, "Okay, good."
Yeah, Chris,
and then he steps off. He wanted to do a good job. You can tell he did excellent. So
I'll be honest, Chris has been a big fan. I think that's how Chris started following me from speaking at NFG a few years ago. He bought the videos and shit like that. Like Chris is like that. So I think he's watched NFG for a number of years. So he was probably like at one of the events where he's watched for a while. And I think that's weird. Like, cause I've spoken at a few events where, you know, you always have that one or two events that you're like, man, I need to fucking get there one day. And then you get there and it's kind of a bit overwhelming. I'm not saying starstruck or anything, but, you know, you're in a crowd of people that you've watched for years, you know, on the slide, getting the videos, and then boom, you're in the fucking middle of it all. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's, anyway, El Sortito, how important
Sorry, go read it.
I was going to say, how important is the dropped age of a domain when looking for one? I've been looking at some domains that have been dropped for over 300 days. Are those good or are the benefits lost? Mike?
So I'm not going to worry about it, especially if there's a profile there. The thing that I would look at is like, get it, especially if it's expired, it's cheap. It's like registering a domain. And then stick it up and watch the crawl coming from the links and make sure that it's an active site and reactivate it, and it's going to be fine for you. They'll probably rescore it anyways because it's been dropped, but you can easily pick up from where that was left off if it's got a good profile.
I've used plenty and I don't care when they were dropped. I just care that they're clean. Yeah.
Never have cared. You can come back in. It kind of ties in to Ryan's question too. You can come back in. You shouldn't be building, like, you're buying that for the link profile. That's what you're buying it for. And if you have solid links on your first tier, then there's a lot you can do underneath it to just make it even that much more powerful. And I will always say, always edits. Any type of link that is indexed already is what I will use.
Yeah, I mean, edits are good because they're scalable because you can you can just buy them. Yeah, and if aside from edits, I would say mini nets, build up properties that you own, and then you can
the
monetize.
same
But
thing
then
almost.
those are still edits. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're the same
Those are
thing, because
edits.
once you're building a network, then you can go in like we're talking about the software that we did show everyone the software we've been doing, Craig, and that we've been working on and I'm using, man. Once you have a site like in there, like if you throw 100 sites and you maintain that and you keep doing what you're supposed to do with 100 websites in a market, like there's not much you can't do with just a fucking little tiny spend like that, dude. Like it's anything indexed is the way I'm going to say it. I would prefer to make it as easy as possible. So if I can just buy every link that's already indexed and do that, then that's what I would do.
Because then you don't have to worry about hosting or anything.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it. But then if you're building websites to make money, you might as well be going in, because you have to update websites. You have to re-optimize. There's more than one phase of optimization. And one of the fresh content things that you can do is go link out to something else that's going to make you money. And it just all turns into a system, Yeah.
System. Fred Hutterson is asking for the biggest nugget from NFG.
For me, it was probably Ted. I've been waiting for some info that Ted K has been gathering on what's going on with volatility in the SERPs and some of the time sharing and splitting. And the stuff that he is doing right now, like I'm going to be feeding him, and it ties into what Lee Witcher talked about too.
Spoon feeding him.
Yeah, I'm going to be spoon feeding both of them like this.
With a bib.
That's my favorite thing. But it would be, I think, some of the newer software that Ted wrote, because I have a lot of theories of what's going on, but I needed a little bit more detail from some of my campaigns, and I think that software will help. And if you don't understand what that change is that they made a big change to their SERPs, like physically in the code, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and then it started kind of getting a little bit more wild out there, and looks like they're ramping up for something, and that's what I was looking forward to, was seeing what he had seen. And now that I have that, I want to move forward with that information and kind of look at some different things.
Interesting.
What about you, Brad? What was the biggest nugget?
I mean, it all ties together, so it's hard to pick out a single thing.
It's the process, honestly.
The biggest nugget is the networking. I mean,
to me, another one would be the fact that Mass Page works extremely well if you do it right, and if you do it wrong, then you're just like everyone that keeps messaging me, why are my pages crawled, not indexed? Why are my pages crawled, not indexed? And it's pretty neat. And also learning why Surfer fails you in a lot of cases, and all tools can fail you in a lot of cases, was really, I think, important for the people there, because if you understand the way the data can fail, then you can use every tool efficiently, and every tool becomes something useful, instead of like where we see people using those tools coming to us, 3 months later and going, well, why did I lose all my traffic that I had just gained? Right? I think that was really worthwhile.
Live IRL fans coming back with some more YouTube stuff. So since these are tactics that can be used for YouTube, are these tactics CTR manipulation or another method? Obviously,
CTR was talked about. There's a lot of stuff that works more effectively than that too. That is emergent off of it as well. That can be used at YouTube too. So,
are you guys selling any replays of this stuff? Like,
we'll see how they come out.
Yeah, we're looking at the editing and the guys that are editing it, and we'll look at it. And there is a slight chance, because of
it's not going to be for a little while, because we want it to get to the people that that have already paid for it.
I'm trying to convince Brad to let people buy tickets to it for the stream portion again, if we have to air it for the people that were there, letting people stream that for that stream. But that's the only thing I think, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see if I can convince him.
We don't need the money, so maybe not.
It's relative here nor there, so it is.
Also, you don't want to go down the route of heavily editing something. I know the last time I was at NFG, you said mine was, 50% edited out. Which is
it won't be any editing like that. It'll just be cleaning it up, adding transitions, making sure that people can see the the screen and everything as clearly as possible. So, but we're not cutting anything out.
Gene and Kamaswiri don't sell anymore. Yeah, don't sell anymore. But Honey has a question.
Honey was there.
We met Honey.
Yeah. Thank you for
Honey's
helping,
a real
Honey.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Honey was there, and she helped people with some. She was working on one of those top 5 CPC campaigns with someone there too.
The waitress called her Honey and called me Sweet Cheeks. So I said, I'll take it. I don't know.
So Honey wants to know, does CTR manipulation help you getting first page from second page in local SEO?
I mean, it can. I like to get it on the first page and use it as something that kind of pumps it up there. And like we said at the event, using CTR and traffic to rank something is like a drug. Once you start, it's hard to pull off of it at that point. So I try and do as much as I can without CTR stuff.
Yeah. So always good if it's going to get you into position 1 from position 3 or whatever. But yeah, I'm the same.
Everyone, I mean, I'm pretty vocal about I prefer real traffic to bot traffic if I'm going to do anything with CTR. So if I'm going to do anything with CTR, it's going to be with clever movement of users rather than a bot for me.
Yeah. Wise words. Dave Hennessy, do you guys see much value in Surfer and the other GTP3 tools anymore, considering Google is not using keyword vectoring?
I don't see much value in that. There's a system and a process that we went over at the event that you can use those things to get started. But if you really look at it and compare it to something done properly, it's lacking. Like very, very honestly, it's very, very, very lacking. So I see value in it. Yes, I do, but not from a it's on point type of situation, from a ease of use and with like staff or VA type of situation or a mass spam type of situation. I think Surfer is a good mass spam tool. I'll say that. If you want to get a new spam tool and you want to do mass page, you might want to look into Surfer because it's a great spam tool.
Dadu is asking, suggest me the best email automation outreach tool for guest posting pitches and silo structure planning tool. So there isn't.
Bro, I want, dude, I gotta get Leo freaking doing something there. But I honestly like.
I don't do outreach like that.
I don't do any outreach. I use Linkio.com for anchors, but not for the outreach. So email automation, I'm not the guy to ask for that. I would never, ever waste time doing that. I just think it's a waste personally.
Pitchbox, though, is the one with all the bells and whistles if you want the high-end stuff. But you've got like BuzzStream and shit like that as well, which you can use or whatever. But Leo...
I honestly, if I was going to do that, I would literally use an email service provider with, I forget the name of the site, but it'll rank out like Gmail send. Like you can just use it to just automate Gmail. And I would
GSend, right? Isn't that GSend?
Yeah, I think it's GSend. I forget. I would just use like Octoparser or any scraper to just go scrape. Like take your SERP, take that query, scrape the SERP, and everything that's above position like 100 or 100 and higher, like scrape all of their contact info and feed that in with a template and go from that, because that's what you want anyways, is you want those guys that are in your SERPs. So I wouldn't bother with anything else other than like scraping.
Still sounds like too much work.
It is, dude. I mean, it can be automated very quickly, but I just wouldn't take the time to automate it myself.
I would say, like, you're right. I think if you were going to make it work, though, you need to do it in sheer volume. Tools like Pitchbox, you can only send 150 emails out per day per campaign. So if I wanted to send out 1,500 fucking emails a day, I would have to have 10 campaigns set up, which is a pain in the ass. So
I wouldn't do it that way. I would just get a bunch of Gmail going, and I would I literally would just scrape and send, and just continue that all day long. And you would want to pull every response that is a yes out into its own database or its own table in your database for reuse, and just keep going back every time you have a new thing. Very easy to set up with the right knowledge. But Cho Monkey. The fuck? Apollo.io.
Yeah. Not heard of that one, but I'll have a look. But Stefan, I'm not even going to try and say that surname because I'll get it massively wrong. Do you have any tools to collect? Yeah.
Slightly.
Do you have any tools to collect emails of local business for outbound marketing purposes? Just a scraper, like.
Yeah, Scrapebox should work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there are
Scrapebox, you could use Octoparse or freaking. There's a whole bunch of APIs. Octoparse I like because it smart detects. It smart detects HTML. But yeah, you could use something like Scrapebox and go through Gmail or go through YP and all. Yeah, basically, I can't say this shit, but do that.
Jordan Pierce has said it's also got the Yellow Pages add-on on there as well, which you can use. But yeah, scraping that shit up. There's plenty of tools out there. Stefan, long-time lurker, first-time asker. Can you point me in the direction of a good SEO testing tool that will keep a basic change log and help me figure out what's working?
I think SEOtesting.com will do. I will do a lot of that personally. And then if you're doing that kind of stuff and you're gathering that data, start looking at data IQ, and you want to start using machine learning to predict your next changes. And it's very possible to automate all of it. So yeah, it's a good way to go, man. And if you have more questions on it, I have notes on this shit all over. We're writing different things all the time. And so come back and or ask more, and I'll post stuff.
There's also Scrape Hero and Lead Scraper.
Here's the options.
Are options. SEO testing is what Carol Morley is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well.
It's solid, especially if you don't have things written. Their cannibalization report is pretty good for visual, really quickly understanding where things are. But cannibalization is we talked at the event on it. It can be a very good thing to have cannibalization. If you don't understand cannibalization, just look for duplicate content and don't worry about it, because you might just hurt yourself by fixing it. So.
But also a key thing that Mike said on here to Stefan in the answer to this, Mike said you can probably automate all of it. When Mike says you probably can automate all of it, that means he's already automated all of it. One thing that I did learn from the guys at NFG the last time I was out there, and I think it was Dory actually who said something like, if it's not if I can't automate it, I'm not fucking interested. Or someone,
I believe that.
And I'm like, man, this is the shit I like. So yeah, you can automate that shit, and get someone to just get a developer to build your own shit. And that's where Big Leo, I want to ask about Big Leo at NFG. Obviously, Big Leo is an absolute beast. He's done a lot of different things, but how did he perform at NFG? With his, was it all Keyword Cupid based, or was there anything new there, or anything?
Exceptionally well. He actually had 2 presentations.
Yeah. We had him doing, Keyword Cupid and grouping the first time, but then we went into, talked a lot about how referring domains really relate to ranking keywords and how it's calculated in the tools that are out there, how they calculate keyword difficulty. Leo's math and the way Leo thinks that I think is spot on. Leo does a lot more than Keyword Cupid. That's Keyword Cupid is a personal tool that he wrote for himself for grouping. And if you want to talk about automating outreach and AI and how to have AI do your work for you, Leo might be the guy to talk to. Really, what he's doing right now goes far beyond what he's talking about in public. And he did talk about some really, really interesting stuff. He did a really good job. I got to have dinner, a couple times with him. And last night I was there, I went and had dinner with him and his wife. And I love the dude. He's amazing. He's brilliant. and he's got.
Where'd you guys eat, by the way?
I forget the name of it. It was like an Asian fusion.
Oh yeah, I think it's Asian fusion.
Bancho or Chacho or something like that.
I've never been, but I've heard it's good. His wife is fucking smart too. It's crazy.
She's brilliant, dude.
Jesus,
they both are. They're beasts.
Yeah, he's ahead of the curve, and a lot of people don't realize because Leo's not big in your face, but that dude's got.
He's modest.
Yeah, but he's got a sick mind. I like it. I like the way he is, and obviously in terms of automation and all the other things that he's built and played around with in the past for other people is phenomenal. So
we had a conversation about WebRTC, and if anyone out there knows what WebRTC is, they probably guess on what we're talking about. But he's doing things that like tie into like what I wrote with Social Explosion and how that was working. There's just a lot of cool stuff that he's into. That, you know, I don't know if he'll ever put it out in the public, but if he does, like, I would just watch Leo. I would just, if you're out there and you follow people, I would
pay attention to what he's doing.
Freaking paying attention when he talks. Like, seriously, pay attention when he talks.
Definitely. That's why I had him on my podcast a good 18 months. A good 18 months ago.
Crazy.
I was like, man, this dude's got all sorts of shit. So
him and Fletch cuddle a lot too, I think he mentioned. So that's good.
That is good.
He didn't mention cuddling Fletch. Fletch was there in spirit.
That's what we're the guys that recorded it, that streamed it, that did the event, did the audio. They're working on editing it, and if it's in a state that makes sense, like, I think it would be good to allow people to come into when the people that were streaming it are looking at it again to look at it, but we're not positive. It might happen.
It might not. I will keep you posted though, David, on here in the coming weeks. I'll try and drag it out the guys, but
dude, I only have one car right now. I want to go to town and get something to eat, and I don't have a freaking car that I can
start walking, bitch.
Start
walking. Get one of those city scoots like Chris Palmer rides.
Dude, Chris, man. Hey, man, do you think
he loves us?
Chris is rad, dude. I really love Chris, dude.
No, what made the event for me, like, you know, it's 3 days of just like constant, like, you're networking, you want to learn as much as possible, you're working on shit, you're trying to keep everything in line, like you're answering emails from your phone and shit. So like you need to decompress at some point. So it's after the third day, I'm pulling out of the fucking event, out of the parking garage at the hotel, and I look left to make sure there's no cars coming. And I see a motherfucker on a scooter having the time of his life, smiling and everything. And it's fucking Chris Palmer. I'm like, I smile, and I don't smile much. I smile. I'm like, later, man. And then just like pull out.
You got joy in your life from Chris, bro.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, because of the amount of joy he was permitting being on that city scoot. It was great.
He's an infectious.
Yeah, dude. Does rank and rent models still work? I'm sure it does, honey. Why are you harassing us today? Like, what are you doing, dude?
I never liked rank and rent, so I don't know if it works. I like PPL. I like selling the leads. I don't like rank and rent. I don't want to chase people down.
I've got a question here. Honey is not Honey, is it? That's someone else that we know.
That's her real name. If it's the same Honey that was at the event, it's her real name.
If it's the Honey that I think it is, like, her name's Honey, yeah.
It's on her credit card. I saw it.
Come on, man. For real. I know that's someone's persona. Like, come on.
That looks like it would be Honey, too. I don't know if that's
really not her picture. But
no, that looks like, to me, that picture looks like something that Honey would
looks like,
on profile. I don't know why.
It would be, yeah.
She's a tiger. Yeah, Kyle's presentation, it was the first time he recorded it over the last few weeks, and he did a damn good job. That was a really good presentation.
He always does.
Really good presentation. I'm sure he'll tweak it for other ones, but I feel honored that we were the first ones to have that presentation. So
he'll probably use it for the next year.
I know, year and a half at least. Maybe we'll see it. Hey, if anyone wants to see it now, I'll sell that. 97
yeah, we'll sell Kyle's presentation.
Who wants it? 97.
We got it. We got Pimp Kyle out.
Yes, sir.
Fletch did a really good job too. I think that it was a keystone to, like with Leo, like understanding what Fletch was talking about really makes a difference in your ranking down the line, because if you don't do it that way, your ranking are subpar.
My rankings are always subpar. I don't know why
Me
anyone
too.
listens to me.
Me too.
Baba Me is saying, will the real honey please stand up?
You like the color choices here.
No, I hate that.
Just
Matches my underwear.
A woman that I met at your event a couple of years back, Susie Bloomfield, did she turn up to the NFG?
Oh, Susie.
She was not at the event.
She was in the stream, I think. Yeah.
Was she? Yeah, nice.
I think so. I'm not
She's
sure.
cool.
Susie translate Portuguese for me. She's awesome.
Yeah. She's crazy. Oh, cheers.
She's cool.
That's the new iPhone here. By the way,
I've had mine for like 4.5 years at this point. So
no, come on.
now.
Like cinematic mode in terms of recording on the new iPhone is fucking class. What is that in the new one, Mike?
Nah, dude, I won't get an Apple.
Oh,
not for my personal. It's a Samsung Note 20 Plus Ultra because it's giant, dude. It's huge. Well, and I have big ass fucking chunky fingers.
Fat fingers. Still can't type on that shit. I'm only using iPhones, so.
Nah, I can't. iPhones are for people that like to design websites and shit. I don't fucking do that shit.
Yeah. Nah.
Macs are.
Yeah, they're the same thing, dude. You can't differentiate. If you have an Apple, you suck at life.
I do. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't agree, or I wouldn't disagree with that. So.
Yeah.
Let me see, guys. We still have 10 minutes, so make sure you.
I got some questions. Watch. I got a good song too. We could listen to while I do that.
I see it in the private chat. Like, let me see what the.
That's a good song.
Lil G.
Dude, he's the prettiest looking rapper I've ever seen, bro. You got to look at his face, dude. His buddy Pugs looks like a pug, dude. It's cool.
If Chris wants to share it on his YouTube stuff, he can. Feel free. Go for it, Chris. I'm shoving that city scoop up his ass, though, if he does. But, you know.
Chris, what guys don't realize though is, like, when you're at an event like that and you're maybe, like, for me, when I came to NFG, I was like, fuck, I'm in a room full of guys that actually know what they're doing. And previously or on YouTube, you're just spitting out shit and all that kind of stuff. But you're like, I really need to up my game in this room if I want to have any credibility leaving here. And I think, Chris probably gave away more than he probably wanted to. Because Chris is a smart guy. Like Chris says, well, I don't know what I'm doing with YouTube. But if you can watch and you understand things, Chris does a lot more than he lets on with certain things. He goes a bit
He
more.
does.
His hacks that he's got are fucking crazy. Look for the yellow, he says, but I can't say anything else.
No doubt, dude.
Look for the yellow. He's like, the yellow? I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guess
it's funny
I'll find
because
out.
at the end of his presentation, I was dying because I said, Chris, dude, I showed the same thing the first time I talked, bro, but it fucking
similar. Yeah, it wasn't the exact same, was it? It was similar,
but similar, and actually
it worked for Chris. Yeah.
And it closed on me like that day. So when I tried it, I didn't have success when I did it. He did. He did a good job, man.
Didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. I've had this on lives previously, and you ask him something, and he's like, "Man, you could just see his face looking at you like, don't ask me that shit." Like, what?
I've had people ask me shit before, and I just sit there like, like, what do I say?
I got a question. If they don't have one, this guy manages 3 travel websites. They're probably around PageRank 3 or 4. They launched a new one, which is, a PageRank 1 or 2. Currently, there are no links between those sites in the footer. Adding a footer link to the new site from the existing stronger sites will be relevant to that. How would Google treat those footer links? We will be talking about a link from 5,000 plus pages from 3 sites. Would it help us on the new site, damage the new site? Could it impact negatively on the currently strong websites? And my answer is my answer, but Brad, what is your answer about footer links, my sir?
I like them.
Yep.
I use them.
I like them too.
I mean, unless you have an established site that you can throw a lot of shit at, I probably would suggest not using exact match in the footer.
Right.
But I mean, we've had clients where we use that and it bumped them up, you know, in the payday niche, but they have a huge ass site and it can take a lot of stuff that most sites can't.
And the important thing to like keep in mind there too is the fact that that's a new site and it doesn't have any it probably is more like a PageRank 0 is what I would say, and that means that it can respond very quickly to those links. So I would not do that alone. You need to be doing the rest of it, and be building some other shit there too. So,
but would you agree that sidebar links were, footer and sidebar links were a lot more powerful back in the day than they are now? Would you think there's still some weight come off?
No, there's still weight. One of our substance abuse clients, the primary thing that I did for them was they had these 3 primary locations that they wanted to push. They did not have any mention for the locations, and it makes sense to put the locations in so you can hit the homepage and go right to the location page. I consolidated some of their extraneous pages, sent them to the primary page, went through everything with COG like we've shown, and then added that it wasn't a footer, it was a menu link, essentially the same thing, site-wide link, to those 3 pages, and they all ranked for blah, 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 drug rehab. So
there is a way to use, like, say, let's take a publishing site or something that has like 10 categories, and you have a branded parent that's the company that owns it. You can actually build your navigation in a way that you're navigating people out into 10 different websites instead of 10 different categories, and leverage the navigational menu and
I've seen that a bunch of times.
Menu for PageRank, and focus your link building to that parent and spread that out through 10 domains very efficiently. So I will say, yes, Craig, there is stuff that has completely dropped about it, but then there's other things that I think have become stronger depending on how you're structuring the campaign.
We ranked for Suboxone Doctor near me with just a sidebar link, right? Essentially, 30,000 pages back to it. I mean, that type of stuff doesn't work as much anymore, but
that kind of thing, that's gonna. You can't just throw up a mass page site like that anymore. And like, I think that's been 3 years since that, 4 years maybe.
At least,
5 years, I don't know. That is not going to work the same way as leveraging like what Google understands about your company and what your company does. Like when you can tie your link graph into the whatever, we'll call it an entity graph or whatever, like and then match that with like a consumption thing for that. There's a lot you can do there, and spread out the page rank through different domains.
Here's something for everyone, gold nugget for everyone. If you're doing link building using MiniNet yourself, and you're also using like guest posts, like the lower level guest posts, not the ultra powerful one, I guess you could use it with the higher DA type ones. So say you've got 3 or 4 guest posts going to a specific page, right? You're trying to push for this. Then you've got MiniNets with a number of pages on it. You're going for the local terms completely relevant to your site. The interstitial, the guest posts aren't completely relevant. Maybe if you're pushing rehab, you've got it on a health site or whatever, but it's not as relevant as the MiniNet. So say you've got 3 to 5 of these guest posts. Go and grab those links to all the guest posts and note the brand name of the guest post, right? Because you don't want to over optimize this because it's going site wide. And then grab, throw up a new widget, sidebar link, whatever you want to use. Put that on the MiniNet that is completely, you've bought a decent MiniNet, maybe it's even an Otis domain that's really powerful. You throw a link to each one of those guest posts site-wide in the sidebar. I guess technically you could do it in the top menu, but sidebar is easier. And you say other resources or whatever you want to label it, and you link to each guest post individually using their brand name. You can add a modifier like a market level modifier if you want, but you don't really need to. So use their brand name. Yeah, use their brand name because it's 100% relevant. It's going to keep you safe. And then you've just powered up all 3 to 5 fucking mini nets. So it essentially looks like kind of a 2 pyramids on top of each other. So up here at the top, you've got your money site, and then it kind of goes down, and you've got your 4 or 5 guest posts there, and then you've got your mini net linking and powering up all of those with site-wide links. There's a way to use site-wide links within your link building campaigns. So
another way to do it is you really need to stay within your market ratios. Like, I know we don't talk a lot about anchor text ratios, but they're real, and that you will get into trouble outside of them. So, site-wides are in some cases a way, especially if you have a lot of sites that aren't huge. A lot of sites that are not huge, then you can utilize those to build your brand mentions and keep your ratios proper. It's an easy way to clean up your ratios if you need to. Like, you can start to leverage that as well. I've heard people talking about different things for above the fold and naked URLs and naked anchors, but like some of the most detrimental stuff I've seen lately come from like all these things that people are talking about that are supposed to be super more beneficial at this point. I'm
not going to take the time to worry about if it's above the fold. I just want it in the content.
Yeah, I just don't care. I won't even bother to see if it works better or not.
We do have a last couple of questions that will keep me awake, as Owen says. Yeah, I'm just knackered, man. Like, I was at the gym and shit, but I'm still knackered, man. I don't know why. Anyway,
I'm not working this week, dude. This is like my last work this week, I think, except for like working on stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work anymore except for the work I'm doing. I'll work. I mean, I've got nothing else.
I'm working, but I'm trying to avoid people. I hate people right now.
Yes, that I will do. Yes, correct.
I actually
monetize it.
said to someone yesterday, I said, the next person to ask me an SEO question, I'm going to punch in the neck.
And so then I called him up and asked him an SEO question.
But that dude's asking, if you were in his situation, you've got a plumber forum website, how would you monetize it?
Multiple ways.
Dude.
If it's getting enough traffic, I
got a process for you if you want to message me. Yeah. There's this thing you could do. Is it got traffic? If it has traffic, I would say message me, and I have something that you can sell, like we're doing a test right now with some forum posts. And if it goes well, then I think you have like a completely unheard of product to sell. So
but honestly, you could sell advertising. You could sell PPL. So you could, set it up and say, need a local plumber, and send, send it to an affiliate number. And also I would throw AdSense on that thing as well. So advertisers, AdSense, and PPL.
Yeah, go grab eZoic membership if you can't get approved yourself.
Yep.
So the subreddit is time-based and karma-based. You can break that very easily by building your karma up. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, let me think.
You can buy those accounts too, right? That have karma pre-existing or whatever. I don't do much with Reddit.
Yeah, you can. They're expensive, but you can buy them. But it's very easy to game that karma system. You need an account that has at least 30 days and a minimum amount of positive karma. And the positive karma will it's actually not 30 days. You can break the 30-day requirement very easily by getting your karma up positively. And you can get your karma up.
You get my karma up, Mike. I can tell you that much right now.
I know I do. If it's important to you and you want to get something open quickly, then go ahead and buy coins on Reddit, buy the coins, and then start responding to people's posts and giving them, basically give them awards. Just give out the more awards, the higher, the more coins you give someone. Like, I do a lot of platinum and gold awards to get mine up, and you get karma from comment karma and for basically saying other people are doing a good job, you will break their algorithm and get through it.
Just grab the Borat meme that's like, very nice, how much? And just post that on everyone's comments.
No, it's interesting. You don't even have to do that. Just go respond. You don't actually have to comment. So the reality is just go give people awards and you'll break that. It's straightforward.
Final question of today. Are you familiar with Nozzle or Rank Tracker, and are they any good?
I've used Rank Tracker, but yeah.
I love that word,
never
Nozzle.
Nozzle. I've used Rank Tracker. I mean, all tracking systems are flawed anyway. So,
especially after what Ted showed, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They are so fucked, and they are not a picture of anything anymore.
I honestly want to, look at analytics, look at traffic. That's traffic and leads is all I care about. So I'm not really looking at impressions within GSC, but yeah, I hardly ever look at, Rank Tracker or anything like that. There I am.
That leg.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
You like that? You like that leg, don't you?
If you like that figure or you've liked the content, please do give us a like. If you've
You're gonna get a bunch of thumbs downs for those.
That's a bigger figure.
A thumb down's also good. It's engagement. So if you've not liked it and you thought it was shit, give us a thumbs down.
And tell everyone in the audience, say in the comments what you think about me personally. I would like to hear it.
Yeah. In the comments, people, abuse Brad.
Rip me apart.
Is he a nice guy? Is he not? Whatever. And we've got me.
What is that? What is that on Reddit? Is it roast me? Is that what it is? We should do that. Hashtag roast me.
We can roast you. We could go roast. John Mueller's got an account over there. We could just put his account up and roast him.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. So hashtag roast me below.
You know what? That's a good show topic, dude. We'll go get John Mueller's account and say, this is John Mueller. Let's roast him. And we'll have everyone go post their thoughts about John.
I don't care about John, to be honest.
Hmm?
And help John even more fucking exposure.
Yep.
Cool. John's a good guy.
Yeah.
Let's end it.
Yeah. On that note, guys, we will end it and doesn't put it on. What? The only guy who spends 2 hours doing his hair and doesn't put it on.
Your hair know what that means. Brad, do you know what that means?
No, I don't. I don't spend 2 hours doing my hair though. I spend as little time as possible. I used to shave it. It used to look like Chris Palmer's, but grew it out.
But on that note,
ladies.
Oh Jesus.
You look like a scarecrow.
Yeah. On that note, we are really going now. So guys, catch you all again next week. See you
Otis. Later. I can't wait for my my consult, Craig.
Yeah. Buy up. Consult will come. Small guns, Brad. See you later.